Canadian International School, Bangalore, MUN 2015. This is Ananch Prasad, founder and managing director, Mun World India, and I'd like to welcome all of you to this edition of the Model United Nations Conference. I'm basically making this video in order to help you delegates understand some basics when it comes to research for the United Nations Security Council. Now, as most of you all know, the United Nations Security Council does not need much of an introduction. It is the smallest committee of the United Nations. It is also the most powerful committee. It has all of 15 member nations, 5 permanent member nations that are USA, UK, China, Russian Federation and France. And of course these 5 have a special power called the veto power, which allows them to go against any particular draft resolution in spite of the rest of the committee even agreeing to it. So even if 14 of you all say yes and USA vetoes the draft resolution, that resolution does not pass. Fair or unfair, this is fortunately or unfortunately the way the United Nations Security Council works. And this is the method that we are going to be using at CISB MUN 2015 as well. Now, moving forward, I'd like to tell you delegates that when you all participate in the United Nations Security Council, it is important to understand that you all are going to get a lot more chances to speak than some of your other friends who are going to be delegates in some of the other committees which are bigger. Being a committee of only 15 member nations, you all are continuously going to go through rounds of speeches in which everybody's participation is very important. The lack of the participation of even 4 or 5 delegates can often affect the flow of the UNSC. Hence, I urge all of you to research as far as possible. The study guides have been made pretty comprehensively in order to ensure that you all have a lot of information. There are a lot of additional links for research as well, which will help you all out. And what I suggest to all of you is that you break up the entire agenda into smaller sections. Alright? When we are discussing alternative methods of extremism, cyber terrorism, use of social media, and various other alternative methods can be broken down into sections and further broken down into subsections. And in this way, you will be able to come up with a lot of points for each and every aspect that has to be discussed as a part of the agenda. Alright? That will be my suggestion to all of you. Now, as far as the agenda is concerned, the agenda is a slightly offbeat agenda, but it is something that is going to become more and more important as we move into the future. Alternative methods of extremism. Now, extremism is not simply about getting hold of a gun and shooting people randomly. That still happens, unfortunately, in the name of a particular cause. But more importantly, these days, extremism has taken a very tech-savvy approach as well. Social media is being used widely by extremist organizations like the Islamic State in order to fulfill their motives and forward their entire. Likewise, by the Boko Haram, the Al-Qaeda, and so many others. Now, the thing is, apart from social media, cyber terrorism has become very common. In recent times, everything has become automated. So it is very easy to, hack into the server of a particular system that might run a nuclear bomb and to activate it, which can lead to widespread destruction. And this is what falls under the purview of cyber terrorism as well. Now, there are various countries that have various capabilities that can prevent it, but a lot of countries do not. Hence, it is the prerogative of the UNSC to discuss cyber terrorism and alternative methods of extremism in this summit, because it is focusing on various futuristic problems that are sure to come up. Cyber terrorism is sure to be one of them, and we are going to be discussing this specifically in relation to the Middle East, because this is the region that is in the most turmoil. You can look at Iraq, you can look at Syria, you can look at Libya, you can look at so many other countries in the same region that are unfortunately suffering from extremism, and recruitment is taking place on a regular basis using these social media sites, and cyber terrorism might also not be very far. Alright? So delegates, please research in relation to your country, understand the stance, read the study guide well, and I'm sure you all will not miss out on anything. That's it. Thank you so much. And I wish all of you the very best for CISB MUN 2015. I'm sure it will be an unforgettable experience and more importantly a great learning experience filled with a lot of fun as well. Thank you very, very much.